Good morning. Happy February 1st. I can't believe it's February. Wow. January's out, y'all. Peace out, January. All right, we're going to start Exodus this morning, the fun reading of Exodus. Exodus is a long chapter. We will be in Exodus for a very long time. Well, almost the entire month of February. Almost the entire month. Morning, Cindy. All right. The Israelites in Egypt, Exodus 1 through 22, which was 1526 or 1360 BC. These are the names of the sons of Israel, that is, Jacob, who moved to Egypt with their father, each with his family: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. In all, Jacob had 70 descendants in Egypt, including Joseph, who was already there. In time, Joseph and all of his brothers died, ending that entire generation. But their descendants, the Israelites, had many children and grandchildren. In fact, they multiplied so greatly that they had become extremely powerful and filled the land. Eventually, a new king came to power who knew nothing about Joseph or what he had done. He said to his people, "Look, the people of Israel now outnumber us and are stronger than we are. We must make a plan and keep them from growing even more. If we don't, and if war breaks out, they will join our enemies and fight against us. Then they will escape from the country." So the Egyptians made the Israelites their slaves. They appointed brutal slave drivers over them, hoping to wear them down with crushing labor. They forced them to build the cities of Pithom and Ramses as supply centers for the king. But the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more the Israelites multiplied and spread, and the more alarmed the Egyptians became. So the Egyptians worked the people of Israel without mercy. They made their lives bitter, forcing them to mix mortar and make bricks and do all the work in the fields, and they were ruthless in all of their demands. Then Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, gave this order to the Hebrew wives: Shiphrah and Puah. When you help the Hebrew women as they give birth, watch as they deliver. If the baby is a boy, kill him. If it is a girl, let her live. But because the midwives feared God, they refused to obey the king's orders. They allowed the boys to live too. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives. "Why have you done this?" he demanded. "Why have you allowed the boys to live?" "The Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women," the midwives replied. "They are more vigorous and have their babies so quickly that we cannot get there in time." So God was good to the midwives, and the Israelites continued to multiply, growing more and more powerful. And because the midwives feared God, he gave them families of their own. Then Pharaoh gave this order to all of the people: "Throw every newborn Hebrew into the Nile River, but you may let the girls live." The birth of Moses. About this time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that he was was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she got a basket made of papyrus, reeds, and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and laid it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. The baby's sister stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen to him. Soon Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and her attendants walked along the river bank. When the princess saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it for her. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby, a little boy. The little boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This must be one of the Hebrew children," she said. When the baby's sister approached the princess, "Should I go and find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" she asked. "Yes, do," the princess replied. So the girl went and called the baby's mother. "Take the baby and nurse him for me," the princess told the baby's mother. "I will pay you for your help." So the woman took her baby home and nursed him. Later, when the boy was older, his mother brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. Can you imagine? The princess named him Moses, for she explained, "I lifted him out of the water." Moses escapes to Midian. Exodus 2:11 through 25, 1486 or 1320 BC. Moses was 40 years old when what follows took place. Many years later, when Moses had grown up, he went out to visit his own people, the Hebrews, and he saw how hard they were forced to work. During his visit, he saw the Egyptians beating one of his fellow Hebrews. After looking in the After looking in all directions to make sure no one was watching, Moses killed the Egyptian and hid his body in the sand. The next day, when Moses went out to visit his people again, he saw two Hebrew men fighting. "Why are you beating up your friend?" Moses said to the one who had started the fight. The man replied, "Who appointed you to be our prince and judge? Are you going to kill me as you killed that Egyptian yesterday?" Then Moses was afraid, thinking, "Everyone knows what I did." And sure enough, Pharaoh heard what happened, and he tried to kill Moses. But Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in the land of Midian. When Moses arrived in Midian, he sat down beside a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters who came as usual to draw water and fill the water troughs for their father's flocks. But some other shepherds came and chased them away. So Moses jumped up and rescued the girls from the shepherds. Then he drew water for their flocks. When the girls returned to Reuel, their father, he asked, "Why are you back so soon today?" "An Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds," they answered, "and when he drew water for us, and then he drew water for us and watered our flocks." "Then where is he?" their father asked. "Why did you leave him there? Invite him to come and eat with us." Moses accepted the invitation, and he settled there with him. In time, Reuel gave Moses his daughter Zipporah to be his wife. Later, she gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, for he explained, "I have been a foreigner in a foreign land." Years passed, and the king of Egypt died, but the Israelites continued to groan under their burden of slavery. They cried out for help, and their cry rose up to God. God heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He looked down on the people of Israel and knew it was time to act. Moses' family tree, 1 Chronicles 6, 1 through 3. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The descendants of Kohath included Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The children of Amram were Aaron, Moses, and Miriam. Moses and the burning bush, Exodus 3, 1 through 22, 1446 or 1280 BC. At this time, Moses was 80 years old. One day Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock into the far wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. Moses stared in amazement. Though the bush was engulfed in flames, it didn't burn up. "This is amazing," Moses said to himself. "Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go see it." When the Lord saw Moses come to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush, "Moses, Moses." "Here I am," Moses replied. "Do not come any closer," the Lord warned. "Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." When Moses heard this, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord told him, "I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. Excuse me. Where am I? I have heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and to lead them out of Egypt into their own fertile, precious land. It is a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites now live. Look, the cry of the people of Israel has reached me. I have seen how harshly the Egyptians abuse them. Now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people out of Egypt." But Moses protested to God, "Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?" God answered, "I will be with you, and this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. When you had brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain." But Moses protested, "If I go to the people of Israel and tell them, 'The God of your ancestors has sent me to you,' they will ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what should I tell them?" God replied to Moses, "I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you.' This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. Now go and call together the elders of Israel. Tell them, 'Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has appeared to me. He told me, I have been watching closely. I see now how the Egyptians are treating you. I have promised to rescue you from your oppression in Egypt. I will lead you to a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites now live. The elders of Israel will accept your message. Then you and the elders must go to the king of Egypt and tell him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. So please let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless a mighty hand forces him. So I will raise my hand and strike the Egyptians, performing all kinds of miracles among them. Then at last he will let you go, and I will cause the Egyptians to look favorably on you. They will give you gifts, and you will go and when you go, so you will not leave empty-handed. Every Israelite woman will ask for articles of silver and gold and fine clothing from her Egyptian neighbors and from the foreign women in their houses. You will dress your sons and daughters with these, stripping the Egyptians of their wealth. Signs of the Lord's power. Exodus 4:1 through 17. But Moses protested again. What if they won't believe me or listen to me? What if they say, the Lord never appeared to you? Then the Lord asked him, What is that in your hand? A shepherd's staff, Moses replied. Throw it down on the ground, the Lord told him. So Moses threw the staff down, and it turned into a snake. Moses jumped back. Then the Lord told him, Reach out and grab it by its tail. So Moses reached out and grabbed it, and it turned back into the shepherd's staff in his hand. Perform this sign, the Lord told him. Then they will believe that the Lord, the God of their ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, really has appeared to you. Then the Lord said to Moses, Now put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand inside his cloak, and when he took it out, his hand was white as snow, with severe skin disease. Now put your hand back into your cloak, the Lord said. So Moses put his hand back in, and when he took it out again, it was as healthy as the rest of his body. So the Lord said to Moses, If they do not believe you and are not convinced by the first miraculous sign, they will be convinced by the second sign. And if they don't believe you or listen to you even after these 2 signs, then take some water from the Nile River and pour it onto dry ground. When you do, the water from the Nile will turn into blood on the ground. But Moses pleaded with the Lord, O Lord, I'm not very good with words. I never have been. I'm not now, even though you have spoken to me. I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled. Then the Lord asked Moses, Who makes a person's mouth? Who decides whether people speak or do not speak, hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say. But Moses again pleaded, Lord, please send anyone else. Then the Lord became angry with Moses. All right, he said, what about your brother Aaron, the Levite? I know he speaks well. And look, he is on his way to meet you now. He will be delighted to see you. Talk to him and put the words into his mouth. I will be with both of you as you speak, and I will instruct you both in what to do. Aaron will be your spokesperson to the people. He will be your mouthpiece, and you will stand in the place of God for him, telling him what to say. And take your shepherd's staff with you and use it to perform the miraculous signs I have shown you. All right. Where, Mallory? Is it from Patreon? Because Patreon posts at 7. Patreon posts at 7 a.m. So it might have been that. Okay. All right. Let's do Trim Healthy Mama, 100 Days of Inspiration. We are on day 32. That was last night that posted, Mallory. You must just be getting the notification. Facebook notifications tend to be weird. Sometimes I'll post something and 2 days later people will get notifications. But I posted that last night, like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. All right. Scare the devil, day 32. The ark kept Noah and his family safe from the flood, but although they were safe, they had to go through the storm. We will never be able to avoid the storms and tempests of this life. Consequently, we must learn how to navigate them. God shows the way through the examples of Noah, who built a strong home, a home that could withstand the biggest tempest that ever hit this earth. Each one of us faces our different storms. We may face even bigger storms ahead. The most important thing we can do is to continue to strengthen our inner man, our marriage, and our home. Ask God to show you any leaks where the destroying enemy can enter. Our home constantly needs repair. I am glad I married a Mr. Fix-It, as I call my husband. However, even more damaging than physical wear is the tear However, even more damaging than physical wear and tear is spiritual wear and tear. Constantly check what is going on in your home. What are your children watching on electronics in your home? The enemy hates godly homes, and he looks for openings in the walls where he can enter in. Close up the holes. Take authority over compromise, worldliness, and all evil. Plead for God's protection. Cover your home with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Become a diligent watchwoman that Become such a diligent watchwoman that you scare the devil. No, I appreciate that, Mallory. It's scary. I worry about that all the time. So, no, I appreciate you giving me the heads up. Sip all day, don't snack all day. Constantly pecking at food when your digestive system was designed to have rest periods upsets the sensible rhythm of your digestion. This is like constantly adding to the washing machine when it is mid cycle. However, keeping yourself hydrated with yummy thirst quenchers is a way of warding off needles. I can't read. Is a way of warding off needless nibbling and can help you break any soda addiction. Snacks are important, often our mouth just wants something. This is not true hunger. It's desired for hand to mouth satisfaction, like a baby who wants a pacifier. Support yourself emotionally and physically with one of our all day sippers. Not only do these drinks hydrate your body and ward off tired slumps, they treat you with happy bursts of taste sensation and contain medicinal ingredients to heal your body. You've probably never heard anyone suggesting you drink moonshine in a devotional before, but try our Good Girl Moonshine. We call it this Baptist friendly buzz toddy. We call this a Baptist friendly buzz toddy. There's no alcohol, but it does make you say yee-haw, yee-haw as it goes down your throat. It is a zingy, zippy, revitalizing, and the ginger and apple cider rev your metabolism and fight inflammation. We promise it's perfectly legal. And then they give the recipe for Good Girl Moonshine. To self-indulge or not. I would really enjoy a movie right now. Monday's just around the corner, and I have the right to make the most of these last few hours of my weekend. I have the freedom to relax and be entertained, to please myself. But I know what will happen. While I am enjoying myself, I will also be lecturing myself. It would be better if I was writing this right now, or better if I was writing that right now. What if I was praying and reading my Bible instead? So instead of watching a movie, I'm writing. Plus, I have another plan. I know that pleasing God will not only satisfy Him, but it will also satisfy me more than just seeking to please me. I'm not against watching movies. I love to watch movies with friends, family, and an occasional just me treat. But resting doesn't always mean self indulging. Okay. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me for our devotion. So today's miracle noodle, it's not breakfast. I'm making lunch for breakfast because I know y'all like some lunch recipes too. So I am going to make a spicy pad thai this morning for breakfast using, an almond sauce instead of a peanut sauce because I'm avoiding peanuts to see if it helps my skin. So I will be doing a spicy almond butter pad thai sauce. So I'm excited about that. I like homemade pad thai. I do not like pad thai from the restaurant. It's more than I can handle. So I like it at home. So, all right, you guys, I love you all. Thanks for joining me. I hope you join me for breakfast. It'll just be a few minutes. I gotta get myself together and I will be live and we'll have miracle noodles again today together. Have a great day, you guys. I love you all.